Okay, let's try that. What's up, guys? It's Josh with PG Retro Games. Today I've got a good one for you. This is going to be our first video, essentially, minus the introduction. This is going to be a PS5 that is having overheating issues as well as random HDMI disconnects. From what I'm told, the customer said that his cat knocked the PS5 off of a dresser, and it still turns on, but 5 to 6 minutes into a game, it will say it's overheating. My assumption is the liquid metal is everywhere but the APU, so that's probably the overheating issues. HDMI, probably the same thing, probably from the fall. Some of the pins are disconnected. It'll make connection occasionally, but it disconnects every so often. So we're going to go in there and fix that too. Come along. Okay, so I think everybody has probably seen these consoles disassembled, so we are going to fast forward through this part. However, oh man, where is my console disassembly tip? Uh-oh. I probably put it away. Anyway, we're going to fast forward through this part. You guys have seen this a million times before. Once we get it down to the motherboard, that is when we will come back to slow-mo and explaining some stuff. And maybe go to the microscope and see what we have there. All right. Quick side note, if you send me your console to be repaired and I find what I'm going to assume is vaporizer juice underneath this, you might get an extra charge. Be prepared for that. Nope, first look inside the console. It doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit of dust on the heatsink, but truly, it's not the worst I've ever seen in my life. There's another one that'll add a charge to your bill right there. I don't know if you can see it. That is definitely a dead cockroach. All right, folks, first looked at the motherboard. Let's see what we got under here. Maybe first look. Bam! All right, I mean, motherboard looks okay. Doesn't look too gross, too disgusting. I don't see anything crazy with it yet. We are gonna get this. Let's get the clamp off and see. Oh my, squeaky. Get the clamp off and see what it looks like underneath. I'm guessing the liquid metal is going to be a disaster. If I were to take a wild guess, it's probably everywhere, because usually after drops, it ceases to be where it needs to be, ever. So, but we'll see. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is. I don't know. This clamp is off. Remove the main power cable. Front buttons. And there's 2 screws on this older generation of boards. This is, what is this? An EDM2. Yeah, an EDM20. So they still had the couple board holding screws there like that. And yeah, I think we're good. We can proceed to gently pry this off. It almost feels like it's been off before. It is very easy to pull off. Yeah, so as to be expected, the liquid metal is not everywhere. It is further out into the sponge than normally I would like. However, if you look right there, that is a massive dry spot. He is getting overheating issues because there's no liquid metal in the center anymore. I guarantee you this console was stood up facing, I can't get my hand in, facing that way, because as you can see, or it fell and hit. But either way, that liquid metal has been off of that APU for a long time. Yeah. Anyway. So, alright. Let's see if we can zoom in on the HDMI port. And right off the rip, HDMI port looks okay. Yeah, I mean, the back of the port looks fine. The coupling capacitor is there. Inside looks... Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Focus for me. There we go. Inside looks good. I don't see any issues. So it could be a possibility that maybe his HDMI cable was bad. Some of those pins might be. I don't think they are. I think that port is fine. Sorry, I'm taking it off camera to look at it a little closer without trying to look at it through the camera lens. Yeah, no, that port looks fine. You know what? It actually does look a little bent. Now that I'm looking at it, it looks like there's a bow to it, so I'm wondering if he had been pulling down on the cable or the way he has it. I don't know. Either way, we're going to change the port because he has paid us to do so. So, that guy will be coming off, and then we are going to obviously redo the liquid metal. That is atrocious. So, we are going to do the HDMI first, and then liquid metal next. So, let me reorganize my camera here, and we will start this bad boy. Okay, that should work, and I can bring out my handy dandy that I just broke holder for my hot air station. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. All right, screw the holder. We'll do it by hand. Do it the old-fashioned way. It's no big deal. I like to put... It doesn't really matter when you're taking the port off, but I like to put a little bit of flux on there. And we are at 410 Celsius. Heating up. Make sure we're still in frame. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I got a call. So now we're going to try it. I just realized how shaky this makes my camera when I use this. Anyway, Atten 862D machine. We have it set to 410 degrees Celsius, and we are just going to go ahead and get this old solder off of here. Forgot to take the foam off the bottom. It's no big deal. I don't think I've ever put one back on after I've used it anyway. Okay. Anyway, sorry I had to take a phone call, ladies and gentlemen. Let's try and get this old solder off of here and some new solder dropped on. And I will be using my Hako. I don't even remember which model this is specifically. It's the FX9701 or 9701. I like these Hako irons. I think they are fantastic. I think they do great work. And now actually looking at it, I think I'm probably just going to add, oh my, oh heavens, oh geez. I'm just going to add some leaded solder to make this transition a little easier. Turn my extractor on. There. Hold on, getting another business call, guys. Okay, and we're back for an 18th time. All right, anyway, sorry, guys. All right, so as you can see, I added fresh solder to the holes and some fresh leaded solder to the pins, to the pads. Okay, so we should be good there. Now we're going to have to readjust. I'm going to have to move everything out. Maybe. Oh, no. Okay, let me go grab a port. And we'll just tin the port. I've got an extra big tip on the soldering iron, but it should still work. I don't think it'll be a big deal, but let's see what happens. I think we got it. It might be bridged up here. Yeah, it's one of the dangers of working with. Yeah, I bridged those pins. Hold on, let me clear the tip maybe a little bit better. A little bit more flux on there. I know it's a lot of flux. No one freak out. That looks pretty good. I dig it. Okay. All right, so we're done with that. And I'm sure this exhaust fan is super loud, ladies and gentlemen, so I apologize for that. We're going to turn our air back on. The small little dab of flux across the pins and holes there, and come in with our hot air. And as every other tech will tell you, you got to watch for the solder to melt. Whoops, as I touch the board, break everything. Once again, we are running at 410 Celsius. I know a lot of people run at 480. I like to run about 400, give or take. As you can see, the pads are already melting. Yep, there go the mounting holes. They are falling through the board, which is perfect. That back mounting hole, there it goes. Okay. Port on. Give it a minute. Give it a minute because the tinning on the pads has not melted yet as I move it all over the place. I am looking down on the port itself. Looks pretty good. We're going to come off the heat and hold down. Looks like the solder came up the legs pretty good. We'll check the back of the port to make sure. Right now, we're just worried about this. Should be good. Hot air going down. All right. And get some IPA in there while it's still a little warm. As you can see, the IPA is bubbling, but that's okay. It'll pull all that extra flux out of there. That's all right. Looks like all the components are still there as I hit my tripod and make all kinds of mess. Ouch, board's still hot. Don't touch that with a rubber glove. All right. You can be rough with these components. They're not going to come off unless something was bumped and solder was moved. Looks pretty freaking good. Let me go ahead and grab, I could probably do it with these tweezers. I don't usually do this on a camera like this. We can turn this, oh my goodness, that was adding counterweight. Oh heavens. Put it back. Okay. I don't usually do this on camera like this. I would usually use the microscope, but we can do it right here. This is fine. We'll fast forward through this. It takes a second. Okay. Okay, and it looks like this just needs a little bit of a touch up, and yeah, we should be good. We're just going to come in with our soldering iron with the big tip. Add some flux. Yes, I know it's a lot of flux. I get paid pretty well to do my job. It's okay. Clean that tip up a little bit. There we go. I'm just going to come in, and yeah, I don't have an exhaust fan on. I should. Don't do this if you don't have an exhaust fan. Come off the heat with that. Clean up the soldering tip. Bam, bam. Little IPA and Q-tip action there. And if this isn't perfect, we'll come back and scrub it here in a minute. But for right now, it is clean. Get me a Q-tip here. IPA. I don't hate that one over there. Looks a little goofy, but in all honesty, it is just fine. Some of these techs get a little rambunctious with the amount of perfection that they go for. If your port is solid and it looks good, relax. You know, the customer's going to be happy. You're going to be happy. And chances are, with how shitty these ports are, uh, somebody's going to be changing it in the next 3 years anyway. Or how rough customers are, I guess I should say. Because once a tech actually puts a port on, they're pretty quality. There you go. I love it. Better than factory, as some would say. Oh no, timber again. Where the hell is my camera? There we go. Now, there is some flux on these. So those look like bridges. They are not. Those are not bridged. Oh man, as I fall out of my chair, they're not bridged. There's just some flux, it looks like, on the pins. Just come in with some IPA. In fact, it could just be, yep, see how that clear, oh, that one right there kind of does look like a bridge, maybe. Maybe I'm eating my words here. Nope, we're good. We're good. It's off there. Okay. Beautiful. The legs all look good. Pins are all solid. I'd say we're good. On to the liquid metal. So normally with an APU that looks somewhat like this, I think I would probably put new liquid metal, but in all honesty, it looks like there's a ton of liquid metal here. If this console had been opened before, I would say somebody has put some on, but I think it's from the impact of the fall has moved it around more than it already was. So we're just going to get it gathered up on one side of the APU. We'll come in one more IPA and give her the business. Get that oxidation off there. Now it doesn't look too bad. I know this is probably terrible how shaky this is making the camera because I have the tripod sitting on the um, board, the back half of the board. And I do apologize. I will get a better setup, but for right now, this is what we're working with. This is what we got. Yeah, that's honestly, that's pretty good there, right there. Get another new Q-tip, dry Q-tip, send it across that APU. Okay, and see, let's see if the liquid metal respreads. Ooh, she might not. She might not. No, and in fact, I can feel some of that oxidation still on the APU itself. I'm going to move you guys off to the side so I can give this a little bit more vigorous rub. Vigorous rub. It's still probably going to shake, but we're going to give this the beans and really try and get some of this oxidation off here because that liquid metal does not want to respread, not even a little bit. I know some people will use like light sandpaper to take some of this oxidation off. I'm not in it to win it like that. That to me is too much. I truly think that this is just fine. So let's get this back corner. I know I didn't get it last time. Usually where I put the liquid metal, it's not too dirty. I try to pick a good corner that doesn't need oxidation removal. Let's give her the beans and see. Okay. Good there. Dry Q-tip. In fact, let's grab dun 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 a Kimtech wipe. Let's just go right in here. You can see, wow. I don't know if you can see that or not from the angle I have. Yeah, you can actually see it really well right there. That oxidation is crazy thick and does not want to come off the board. Like it looks like it's gone when it's wet with rubbing alcohol, and then you actually try to dry it and it's just hanging out. I may have got it right there. I think we're good. Ooh, I pulled the matting back. I was so aggressive. So aggressive. It's all right. It'll be okay. Let's try and spread this and see what happens. Sometimes it's just the liquid metal. Sometimes the liquid metal just doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do. Fast forward through this. This is going to take a second. Beautiful. Done. Gorgeous. Even. Oh. All right, y'all. We've got the PS5 reassembled enough to test. Got it plugged in. You got a blue light. Blue light. Hoping it goes to white. Be sweet. It might not be on the right HDMI input, so we will need to check that. Okay, going blue, 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 blue. It is a white light, so we are definitely on the wrong HDMI input. So anyway, guys, I came back and it magically just started working. So anyway, there's your boot up screen. There's your fan spin. There you go. There you go. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it, guys. I am sweating to death. My shop is 2 million degrees. Can't turn the fan on because it's right beside the camera. You're going to hear it in a couple shots because it was just too miserable. But anyway, there you have it. It's that simple. You know, this is a great business and this is a great way to keep consoles out of landfills. And yeah, this is going to be another satisfied customer. They're going to be good to go. No overheating console and new HDMI port. All right, guys. Till later. This is Josh with PG Retro Games, and I'll see y'all on the next one.